broadcasting to you, and today we're talking about mediation. Now, we've done some talking about self-mediation, and now we're going to talk about dispute mediation. And later we'll talk about, possibly if we have time, we'll talk a little bit about computer-mediated communication. So I'm using my handy computer, my little tablet, to keep me on track because I have things that I want to say and I want to make sure to say it right. So sometimes we have disputes and we use mediation to solve the disputes. We have disputes in our personal lives and in our professional relationships, and also with our neighbors. And like I said earlier, one solution to settling disputes is mediation and or negotiation. I'm a mediator, and we talked about this last week, or the last time, one other time when we filmed, that this set is one of my favorite sets, and you're about to find out why. It's because I do mediations and negotiations at this table. Now, what happens in a mediation is that I invite both parties to the table. For example, if there's an employment dispute and two people work together, they can't get along, they don't like each other, but they have to work together. Well, their employer will contact my agency, and I will invite the parties to the table, and I will sit at, usually what happens is that I sit at the head, either here or here, and I have each person sitting on each side of me here at the table. And now keep in mind, they're angry with each other. So when they come in, and I'm communicating the whole time from the time they get here to the time they leave. So I'll have soft music playing. So I'm already trying to strip away at their communication barriers. I will offer them something to drink. And I'm talking really slowly and soothing. And one of the reasons why I'm talking slowly is because I'm stalling for time. And I'm stalling for time because I'm trying to see what's really going on. I'm getting a feel for them. So because sometimes the paperwork will say one thing is the problem, but when you see the two parties, you'll find out, if you're paying attention, that there's usually a whole nother source of what the real problem is. And so I'm talking slowly and assessing the situation for information. And sometimes I can just solve the problem here at the table, but very often I use a tool called caucusing. I forgot to tell you that. What happens when they come to the table and I give the instructions, and as I give the instructions, I'm talking to them, I'm giving them the rules of mediation, and while I'm giving those rules for mediation, that I'll make a decision. And sometimes I ask the parties, can you talk to one another? And if they don't want to talk to each other, I'll use caucusing, and that just simply means that I separate the parties, put one person in one caucus room. I have two different caucus rooms on each end of the studio, and I'll put one person in one caucus room, another person in the other caucus room, and I walk back and forth and negotiate to settle the dispute between the parties. I forgot to mention that one of the reasons why, when I'm talking slowly and I'm assessing the situation, I'm trying to get the two parties to trust me, which is a big deal, the trust issue. And so I'm saying with every fiber of my being that you can trust me. I'm saying that with my words. I'm saying that with my soothing voice. I'm saying that with the music. I'm saying that with the fragrance in the room. And once I gain the trust, I never do anything. It's an honor when people trust you. It is a privilege. And so I try not to ever do anything. I don't abuse the trust. So as you'll find that as you're communicating and you become a better communicator, you are honor bound to do certain things that maybe people who are poor communicators don't have to do. As a good communicator, you need to be honest. You need to have integrity. And these are things that you have to do all across the board with everybody that you deal with, and not just the people that are here for mediation. Now, I take caucusing very seriously, and so I have designed specific caucus rooms that are, like I said, designed to strip away at people's barriers, communication barriers. And I got a favorite caucus room, and the reason why this is my favorite caucus room is because it started out as my prayer closet. I use it for a prayer closet, I use it for a dressing room, and I also use it for a caucus room. The reason why it's my favorite room is because it was designed so that you could have uninhibited communication with God and yourself. So sometimes I enjoy putting people in that room while they're waiting, or while they're waiting to film. They can get comfort and relax. And so I want to show you my favorite caucus room. I'll be right back in a minute. Let's go see it. As you enter this room, the first thing that you notice is that Chase Lounge. Now, most people don't have a Chase in their house. And in the United States, mosquito netting is very exotic. So people don't have mosquito netting in their house in the United States like they do in Kenya. So these two features together make the room exotic, and it's disarming from the moment you walk into the room. But as you walk in, first thing you smell the beautiful smell, and then as you walk in, you notice the fountain. Now the music has already got you somewhat intoxicated. So you come into this room and you leave feeling refreshed.